everybody, today's story is called The Farmer's Rat, and it's written by Michelle Larby, who is our phonics fairy, and the illustrator is Juliet Breeze. If you listen very carefully, you might hear the trigraph that was in this morning's phonics lesson, which was the sound yaw. Again, on the back, we've got the blurb that tells us what the story is going to be about. Is it a hardback or softback? Softback. Has it got photographs in it, or has it got illustrations? Illustrations, well done. There was once a farmer who enjoyed growing a good crop of vegetables. Who's this here? And what's the scarecrow do?
It scares birds.
That's right, so they don't eat the seeds, well done. Each day he would pile them up in his wooden cart and sell them to the villagers, who would chat happily whilst they queued. So there they all are, queuing up for their vegetables. One morning the farmer noticed something terrible had happened to all his crops. All the vegetables had great big holes in them, and their leaves were floppy and pale. What do you think's been eating these? It could be a caterpillar, it could be an insect, well done. Oh no, exclaimed the farmer, no one is going to buy our vegetables now. The farmer's wife knew they had no savings. We have no money left, so we will have to sell our lovely home, she cried. So are they happy or sad?
Sad.
But that night when the farmer and his wife went to bed, something very magical happened to the turnips. What's happened to them now? They've grown enormous. In the morning, the farmer stood in the field with his hands on his hips. He shook his head. How on earth did they grow so big, he said. Look, exclaimed the farmer's wife, they've got no holes in them. So they are all lovely vegetables.
Yeah.
The next day, the farmer went outside, only to find the biggest potatoes he had ever seen. I don't understand, said the farmer to his wife. How did they grow so big? Why don't we stay up all through the night and find out what's happening, said his wife. Just after the stroke of midnight, the farmer and his wife peeked out from behind the curtains. Oh, who do you think we might see? Just visible in the moonlight, they saw little rats running around. The little rat was sprinkling the farmer's vegetables with something he had picked out of his small sack. What do you think he's sprinkling? Shall we find out? Yeah. The farmer and his wife stared at one another in astonishment as they heard his little song. I am sure I can cure with this lovely manure. So he's sprinkling manure onto the vegetables. Before their eyes, the vegetables grew and grew and grew. All the insects said, "Ooh-wee," and scuttled away from the terrible smell. Once the rat had finished, he yawned and he heaved the sack onto his back and plodded to his hole to get some sleep. The next morning, the farmer and his wife sold the enormous vegetables for lots of money. No longer needing to sell their lovely home, they thought of a way to say thank you to the rat. That night, the farmer built the rat his very own house. That's right. Wasn't that a lovely kind thing to do?
Yeah.
The farmer's wife knitted him some warm clothes, and from that day on, they all lived happily ever after, eating delicious vegetables every day. Can anyone tell me any vegetables they can see? Carrots, peas, potato, maybe cauliflower.
Or maybe mashed potato.